All right, well, welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the call tonight, and thank you for taking the time to join us. Diane Hunt, my sponsor, the one that introduced me to this revolutionary patch, is also in the house tonight. We're so excited to share something that has been a total game changer in our lives and really in the lives of so many others. It is this simple, drug-free technology that is helping people feel better, heal faster, and it's transforming so many lives. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Beth Blackmore. I'm a health and empowerment coach. I got into this whole health journey about 6 years ago when I became conscious, decided to make some big changes in my life with my food choices, my lifestyle habits. I ended up losing 60 pounds and I thought that was the big win. But honestly, that was just the beginning. This was really the beginning of my conscious awakening. I ended up leaving my government career in HR, the pension and all, because I wanted more freedom, more purpose, and a way to really help people take charge of their health. So, as someone who is curious, open minded, I love learning. And so, over the past year, I started to acknowledge and appreciate the power of light, sunlight, our circadian rhythm, and basically how our environment, especially our light environment, plays a massive role in our health and well-being. So when my dear friend Diane Hunt reached out to me more than once, I will say, I think it was probably 8 times, like over a 2, 3 month period, about this patch, I finally took a closer look. I was honestly blown away by what I learned, and I really thought it was too good to be true. But I signed up and I did what any good daughter would do. I patched my mom. She had been experiencing knee pain for years, and within a few days, she noticed relief instantly. Her physiotherapist that she was seeing 3 times a week noticed more mobility, less inflammation, and she wondered what she was doing differently. And the only thing that had changed was this sticker that her daughter put on her. But it didn't stop there. She started sleeping better. She had more energy. She got back to the things she loved doing: walking, gardening, swimming, playing with the grandkids. And for me, the first thing I noticed was finally being able to sleep through the night, having vivid dreams, which was unheard of for me. I used to have this lower back, this compression tightness in my lower back that I had dealt with for years, going to chiro every couple of weeks. It wasn't debilitating, but it was there. After patching for a week, I no longer experienced this pain at all. My energy, my mental clarity have improved, which is helping me to keep up with everything on my plate. But what fires me up is that I know that the best is yet to come. My body is healing, repairing, and age reversing, as you will soon discover. So there's also an incredibly exciting financial opportunity with the trajectory of this company. So more on that a little bit later. But tonight, before I start the formal part of this presentation, I would love to call on a few people to share their powerful testimonials. And first up, I'd love to have my dear friend Diane introduce herself and share her incredible story with you.
Well, hello. I just love being on these calls. So thank you, Beth, for inviting me to share what I feel, as we just mentioned, is definitely the greatest invention to this day. I was a nurse, like Beth said, for 20 years in the critical care cardiac unit. And, it does get frustrating there when everything is another pill, another surgery, and you're like, but why? And so I was dealing with some heart issues and some lung issues. About 4 years ago, I got COVID early on and it just lingered for me. And so I was praying for something to come into my life naturally. I was doing all the things. I have so many natural healing things in my house, but nothing was working. And so I had an inbox, sort of like how I reached out to Beth, from a nurse in Florida asking me if I've ever heard of these patches. And so they're so smart and cute. And I was like, I haven't. So please tell me about them. And lo and behold, I ordered the big pack. I got them on my body. I got them on everybody in my family, my parents. And the amazing testimonies started. For me, I no longer had shortness of breath. I no longer had palpitations. That for me, luckily, was in 24-hour period. I had that 24-hour testimony, but that does not happen for everybody. But I'm telling you, I've been on it 2 years now, and the miracles continue. I no longer have dry eye. If anybody has had dry eye, it's so annoying. Floaters on us, I mean, floaters are maybe even more annoying than the dry eye. Like I said, I was going through the early menopause, perimenopause, whatever we want to label it, like the sweats at night. those are gone. I just have so many testimonies, even what it's done for my entire family. So I know we have quite a few testimonies. So I am speaking fast so I could hand the mic over to the next person. But it has been, when I say miracles, people, miracles. I have never seen these miracles as a nurse in my 20 years. So can't wait to hear yours.
Thanks so much, Diane, for kicking us
Sure.
off tonight. Such powerful stories. And I know you have a powerful story to share about your father as well. So maybe we can get into that a little bit later too. So I'd love to call on Terry, if you can unmute yourself and share your story.
Thanks, Beth. Yeah, well, I started patching on February 21st, and I will never forget that day because I originally ordered the patches to sleep better because I had been sleeping lousy for about 6 months or more. And I thought if I can sleep better, that'd be great. Well, I not only slept better, but that day one, I was the one patch wonder too. I had more energy, more stamina. Um, I sleeping right off the bat. I was, I'm 59, so and had 3 kids and nurse of 35 years. So you're on your feet all the time. Your bladder takes a toll. Stress incontinence was a big thing. That's about 80% better. And that changed rather quickly right off the bat. I can jump on the trampoline now with the grandkids and not pee my pants. And I but I did a trip to Thailand with my husband back in March, April. We were gone for 3 weeks. I am not a firm believer in sunscreen. I did not burn, and they do say that these patches could possibly have help with the sun too. And who all doesn't want to not put on sunscreen? Also, when I came back, I had zero jet lag. Like I literally came home after traveling over 30 hours, did laundry, took a shower, and turned around and went back to a life wave event an hour and a half away. So it was amazing. Um, I have also, my gums seem healthier. There's so many different things. My spider veins are starting to fade that I used to get injected, and I won't do that anymore. I also was bothered by, yeah, pain in the butt with having a rectal fissure. If anyone's ever had that, within 7 days, that pain was gone. It literally brought tears to my eyes. Like that was, I never thought that would ever happen. And I was meeting with a friend today, and I noticed my skin is much more an even tone. And she said, "It looks like you're wearing makeup." And she knows I don't wear makeup. She did my makeup for my wedding 7 years ago. And so she knows I wouldn't even know how to put it on. So she says, "I can't believe this," right? So she's interested in the patches. So it's just every day there seems to be something more. And there's so many changes, it changes your life. One little patch. That is
Awesome,
incredible.
Terry. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to share Adam quick?
Sure. Yeah. And actually, I could put up his picture too, so you can share that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my son Adam, he just turned 36. He has been plagued with alopecia for over 10 years. We have tried anything and everything, natural things, even natural IVs at the naturopath and everything. He was even in an experimental study at McMaster Hospital here where they used anti-rejection drugs, which are horrible, for using the side effect of hair growth. And when that started affecting his kidney function, he stopped those cold turkey. And, losing all your hair, your eyebrows, everything, that really takes a toll on, everything in your life. And when he heard I was on the patches, he goes, "Where do I get them?" So he ordered them right away. He started the beginning of March, and within 6 days, his hair was growing in, and it continues to grow. He's also sleeping much better, and his hair is coming in a bit darker. Before, if it would come in, it would come in almost like white, and now it's, having some more darkness to it. So we're thrilled, and it's just unbelievable.
That's amazing, Terry. Yeah, those pictures, I mean, they say it all, especially when you guys had been through so much for 10 years and nothing
Yeah,
else helped.
yeah.
And then the
And
hair
now
growth
I
started.
like to rub his head like I did when he was little when I gave him the brush cuts.
Yeah. And then 6 days, he's starting to grow
Yeah,
his hair again.
yeah,
Incredible. Thank
yeah.
you so much for sharing, Terry. We're so happy for you and Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Rebecca, if you are able to unmute yourself and share your powerful testimonial.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So I'm on Diane's team, but my older daughter wants to start off and share her testimonial first. Okay. Her
Love
name
it.
is Summer Lily and she wants to talk. Can you do it?
Perfect.
Oh, sweetie.
My testimonial is that my vitiligo went away. Well, is healing. And
You want me to go?
yeah, I need to do that.
Okay. So my daughter, hi everyone. So Summer is 7.5 years old and she has vitiligo down her neck. And we tried and spent $1 million on herbs and herbs and herbs. And we had to change her diet. We did so many things. But within like 2 weeks of being on the patches, like a whole strip of her vitiligo, it's gonna be hard to see it. But anyway, it's basically repigmenting itself, which is super cool. But then I have even a better testimonial. That's great. She's beautiful regardless. But then we have a better testimonial. Summer had a really freak accident. It is like a really freak accident. And she was in the hospital. We literally stayed in the hospital for a month. And she was hooked up to a lot of stuff. She wasn't able to walk. She wasn't able to do a lot. And so the second she got her oxygen tubes out, she said, I love you, mommy. And I was like, okay, I'm patching her again because she was patching before. The second I heard words out of her mouth, I put the patches on, and now the pediatric nurses that are my nutrition clients said they have never seen a kid recover the way that Summer's recovering from a kid that couldn't walk a month and a half ago is basically almost running again. We have her on the Eon, we have her on the Alavita, and we have her on and the X39. And it is like a miracle. This kid is a miracle. I mean, obviously, I believe God, saved her for sure, but the patches really have facilitated her healing journey. So they're a godsend. We're very grateful.
That is amazing. So
Yeah.
happy to hear that, Summer.
Yes, she's a
That's
miracle.
amazing. Love it. What a powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing, Summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
happy for you.
yes, we love Summer. She's the best.
It's incredible.
And she goes around. You want me to tell my testimonial? Okay, I'll give a really quick testimonial. So I'm a nutritionist of 15 years, and I keep telling everybody this is by far like the best thing that's ever come across my lap in my practice. For me, I've been on them now for 4 months and I'm 40. So I know they say you're supposed to start seeing things now, but for me, what I noticed right away was I had chronic sinusitis, like under my really bad. It went away. I would say I've only had it once since I've started patching, and that's because I went through all the stress of my daughter. So stress is stress. And for me, what else did I say was better? Oh yes, my other thing. She's helping me. She's my assistant. My other story, which is actually even more miraculous, is that I wasn't menstruating since I had my little one. So we're talking 5 years. Nothing could bring back my period until I put on the SP6, and it brought back my period for the first time in 5 years.
That's amazing. How long did that take?
The SP6, I mean, I will say I missed it this past month, but again, I just went through trauma with my daughter, so I'm thinking it'll go back to normal again. But it took being on the SP6 for less than a month. I would say like 3 weeks.
And so prior to that, you were using X39, and then you brought on
just
the
the X39, and that's it. I mean, I use Ice Wave like as needed for my headaches. But nothing else. I mean, I was literally just doing
your supplements.
I stopped.
Supplement junkie.
It's true. I stopped all my supplements as a supplement junkie. And yeah, within probably 3 weeks of being on the SP6, my period came back. And I was like, this is crazy. I called my functional medicine doctor being like, no offense, but I've done all these things and nothing worked. It's the patch. And I just don't know how, like, she can't be a believer after that because I didn't do it differently. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm telling
Thanks.
you, lots of money. So they're a miracle worker. They are. I love them.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for sharing your powerful stories tonight. We appreciate
Yes.
you. All right. And I'd love to call on Patty. Patty, if you can unmute and share your story.
Hi there.
Hey,
Great to
Patty.
hear everybody. Hi, great to hear everybody's testimony. So powerful. Well, what happened to me was, well, first of all, a year ago in May, so it's a little over a year now, Diane called me to check in just to say hi, and she mentioned the patches. And ironically, my son's friend was selling the patches, and you know how you buy Girl Scout cookies to support people? Well, my son's friend he didn't really explain the patches, but he was like, oh, I'm selling, and he had just had a baby and he's married, he just got married. And so I said, yeah, I'll buy some patches from you. And then I forgot all about it. I put them in the drawer and he never called me back. So then Diane calls me and she's like, how are you doing? I said, well, terrible. I said, my husband has an autoimmune disease called pulmonary sarcoidosis and he can't breathe. So I'm really worried about him. On top of that, he wasn't able to work. He had to stop working. So she's like, well, have you heard of LifeWave? And I said, yes, I have, but I have some patches, but the kid never called me back. So I don't even know. I didn't even know what they were. And so she's like, well, you got to get those patches on Tim. So I started patching him and me. And within 2 weeks, I noticed my shoulder pain was because I was waking up every morning taking Advil, like 4 Advils every morning because the pain was so bad. I noticed after 2 weeks of wearing the X39, the pain went away. And I also noticed brain fog. Like I noticed I could think clearer and I was more alert and more organized. And then with Tim, it took 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, he's like, and he didn't believe in it. I was forcing him to patch every morning. I'm patching him every morning because he was like, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm like, yes, it is. I said, well, we got to try everything. Plus the medicines that they were giving him for pulmonary sarcoidosis were awful. They were cancer medicines and they weren't even working. They were probably making it worse. So I don't know. But so he ended up, he was still taking the medicine, but it wasn't working. So I got the patches within 3 weeks. He was able to breathe and he went back to work. Within 6 months, he took himself off all of his medicine and stopped going to that doctor and found a new doctor. But we had to wait another 6 months to see the best of the best of the best with pulmonary sarcoidosis. Well, that doctor was in Tampa. We went to see him 2 months ago. He gave him a clean bill of health and said, you may never have this problem again. You're all set. You can come back in a year from now just to check in, but looks like you're all cleared up. And he goes, and he even said, don't take the medicine because he thinks the medicines aren't good anyway. And it's all for cancer patients and he doesn't even have cancer. You know what I mean? They just throw anything at you, hoping that it's going to work. So, and I went for my blood work in December after wearing the patches for 6 months. And my doctor sat down with me with my blood work results. And I said, they look good, but I don't understand, I'm not a medical person. And she goes, yeah, she goes, I can't believe it. She goes, I've never seen this. You don't have a fatty liver anymore. And I said, well, I've had a fatty liver for 25 years. And I said, have you ever seen somebody reverse a fatty liver? And she said, nope, I've never seen that. And I said, well, it's the patches. And then on top of that, my therapist who started taking the patches said he had heard that people one of his patients, he never saw him again. He had started taking the patches 2 years before. And my therapist never got on the patches, but he knew that his patient was on the patches and all of a sudden it healed him from his depression. So he said, do you want me to wean you off your depression pills? And I've been on them for 25 years. And I said, I was nervous. And I said, well, I don't know about, I tried that 10 years ago and it was awful. So he goes, well, let's try it. I'm going to wean you off your medicine. And I said, okay. So 6 months into it, he weaned me off. So I've been off of it for over 6 months now, all my antidepressants, and I have no depression at all. I actually had no depression right when I started taking the patches. I noticed even when I was on the antidepressants, I wasn't suffering from depression, but I normally do anyways. Even with the antidepressants, I was suffering from depression. So it wasn't even a cure-all anyway, but regardless, I'm now no depression. And it's all because of the patches. So I am so excited.
Patty, that is incredible. Love hearing
Thank
that
you.
story. So powerful. I mean, someone to be
Yeah.
on that for 2 decades, antidepressants, and being able to wean yourself off. I mean, kudos to that doctor too that was able to work with you and was
Yep.
open, to doing that with you. That's amazing. And
Yep.
I'm so happy to hear about your husband too, having a clean
Yep.
bill of health.
Yep. These patches have saved his life for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
And they're saving, I think they're saving all of us anyway. But I mean, I really, like, he was going to die,
Yeah.
so
Wow. Thank you so much for coming on and
thank
sharing,
you.
Patty. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and share my screen. And I'm going to get into the more formal part of this presentation and tell you the science behind it. So we've heard all of these incredible stories. Well, how the heck does it work, right? So, all right. So tonight you're going to be blown away by the incredible power of the patch that uses your own light to heal. Because what we're talking about here is phototherapy. And I do want to say at the outset that while LifeWave products, they are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. So everything that we'll be discussing tonight will be really with a focus on general wellness rather than addressing symptoms. So we'll be addressing symptoms and experiences rather than specific diseases. However, in light of that, we know these powerful testimonials. So these are people that have experienced one thing or another, and they're sharing their own experiences. But obviously, LifeWave does not make any medical claims. This is not a medical device that requires FDA approval. This patch is actually FDA recognized as a general wellness product. Okay, so I'm going to throw some stats at you. This is really interesting. So as we age, we lose healthy stem cells. And this is the healing and the repair mechanisms our body relies on. So our stem cells actually go dormant. So by the age of 30, healthy stem cells decrease by 60%. By 60 years old, those healthy stem cells decrease by 90%. And so not only is the natural aging process contributing to our decline in health, but unfortunately, this modern world we live in this age of convenience, consumerism, we are subjected to a barrage of toxins, chemicals in the air, in the water, in the food, in the man-made synthetic radiation everywhere. And all of this leads to cellular dysfunction. And our bodies require healthy, active stem cells to heal and repair the body. And stem cells, I didn't know this, a year ago, before I was introduced to this technology, I had no idea really what stem cells were, but they are the baby cells that replace the old dying cells. They actually become your heart cells, your liver cells, your lung cells, your hair cells, even your brain cells. We've heard of stem cell therapy, but it's expensive, right? People need to travel long distances to get it. It's invasive, it's risky, and it's actually only about 50% effective because it stays local to the injection site. So this is where regenerating your own stem cells becomes exciting and why this phototherapy patch is such an exciting option. So phototherapy might be a new term or concept for you, but healing with light is actually nothing new. It's been around since the dawn of time. The sun is nature's original phototherapy, signaling our bodies to make essential vitamin D and also signals other vital processes in the body. But photobiomodulation is a type of light therapy that uses specific wavelengths of light to stimulate cells that then boost energy production, promotes the healing process, reduces inflammation, improves blood flow, and it helps with tissue repair. And what is so exciting is that it's accessible, it's affordable, it's non-invasive, and it's risk-free. And so what if I told you that these little light patches use this light technology to increase a naturally occurring copper peptide in the body? Well, that is exactly what the X39 patch does. So through this process of photobiomodulation, it stimulates the production of human or our own GHKCU copper peptide. And this is known as the holy grail of age reversal. And no, this is not synthetic, right? You are not having to take this exogenously. They are your own, they're naturally occurring. And just like with stem cells, unfortunately, this copper peptide decreases with age. So this copper peptide was isolated back in the 70s in 1973 by Laurent Picard. I have his book right here, but he was a PhD and researcher that isolated it. And so we know the incredible benefits of this peptide. You can actually look up about 50 years of research at pubmed.gov. It is a free online database of medical scientific research. So some of the incredible benefits of GHKCU that we know is that it supports tissue repair and regeneration. So think wound healing, muscle and nerve repair. It boosts collagen and skin health by increasing collagen and elastin production. It also has multiple anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and even anti-cancer properties. GHKCU is also known to reset over 4,000 genes in our genome. So basically resetting your DNA to a younger, healthier state. But here's the clincher. The GHKCU reactivates your own dormant stem cells, and it does this through the power of this incredible patch. So LifeWave X39 is this small wearable phototherapy patch. It's about the size of a quarter, developed by David Schmidt, the founder of LifeWave. He patented this product that uses this process of photobiomodulation. So using your body's own infrared heat. We are all light beings. We all emit a low level infrared light. We are all warm to the touch, right? The bed is warm when we wake up in the morning. You can see the heat coming off people, right, wearing those night vision goggles in the movies. But one of the biggest questions I get is, how is this small sticker capable of doing this? And so we all need to recognize that we all emit light. We all emit this low level infrared heat. So think of it, this patch, as a mirror, reflecting specific light frequencies back into the body, signaling biological changes at the cellular level. This patch consists of organic materials, amino acids, sugar, water, oxygen, and salt that form this crystal lattice structure that reflect these specific wavelengths of light. And so the patches are non-transdermal. They are latex free. So that means they contain no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. There's nothing on this patch going into your skin, into your body. So they're safe to use without interfering without any medication. So there are really no contraindications because nothing is being absorbed into your skin or into your body. Okay, so now for the good part. What's in it for you, for your loved ones? First off, it reduces inflammation and pain. And why this is so important is because we know that a fundamental common thread in disease is chronic inflammation. It improves strength, stamina, and energy levels by specifically targeting the mitochondria to help make more energy in the cells. Many people experience an energy boost, and this is the reason why. It improves muscle and bone density, strengthening, building lean, strong muscles and bones. Many professional athletes, Olympians use it. So great for anyone really wanting to level up their physical game. It helps with mental clarity. It reduces stress. This has been a huge bonus for me with less brain fog, more mental clarity, balances hormones, eases anxiety, also cycle regulation for women. We heard that from Rebecca tonight. Some of my good friends also have experienced this sense of calm and like a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. It improves hair growth, skin appearance with increase in collagen and elastin production. And I'll note that both men and women are experiencing new hair growth, returning back to their natural hair color. It promotes cellular repair and wound healing. So we know that surgeons in the States, for sure, are recommending their use on patients pre and post surgery for faster healing. It improves sleep quality, with many people reporting deeper sleep, having vivid dreams. This is one of the most common benefits that people have right off the bat. It was a huge benefit for me. So what is so unique about this healing modality is that this little patch helps the body to work systemically. So it works to repair and heal all over the body with a 2,100% stem cell proliferation rate. So now I'm going to go through some of the amazing long-term benefits. So just so that you know, things are starting to happen right away. So whether you feel that or not, within the first few days, your body starts to reset over 4,000 genes. Now that's no small feat because we actually only have around 20,000 genes in our genome. So resetting 4,000 is huge. You may have heard about the benefits of drinking red wine with the molecule that it contains called resveratrol. Well, that resets 2 genes. And so we're talking here about resetting 4,000 genes with this patch. Then within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced, more mental clarity, less brain fog, more focus, better memory, less anxiety, less depression, people coming off their meds like Patty after 20, 25 years on meds. This is huge, right? With so many people suffering from mental health issues these days. Within 3 months, collagen increases. Many people think that collagen having to do with the aesthetics, right? The external appearance, the skin, the hair, the nails. But collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the body. It's needed all throughout our vascular system, our blood vessels, all of our fascia, which supports our organs. Collagen is actually the master protein in our body, and we can create it with this patch. Then within 6 months, the heart actually reverses in age by 8 years. Many testimonials about people no longer in AFib, no longer requiring surgery, coming off their blood pressure meds. Powerful testimonials with improved heart function. And I love this quote. David Schmidt, the founder, the inventor, says it's not anti-aging, it's in fact age reversal. So how do you wear it? Super simple to wear the patch. You wear it for 12 hours, you take it off, it's disposable. There is a little bit of life left in it, so you can actually put it on your pet, wrap it around your dog's collar. They get the benefit of the rest of the patch. It's adhesive with medical grade tape, so you stick it to the body on the skin. It's actually activated by your heat, so you can even put it in your pocket or stick it to your undergarments, and it's going to be effective. And that's why you don't want to transport them on you, in your pocket, in your purse. So I usually wear mine on my wrist if I'm wanting to advertise it, but you can put it anywhere on the body. You put a new one on the next day. You take a break at night, so you make sure that there's a break from that stimulation of light. Otherwise, the body gets used to it. It's not as effective. We call that attenuation. Crucial that you drink water, that you stay hydrated. And when I say drink water, I mean with electrolytes or a good quality sea salt, because it has those trace minerals, those electrolytes in it. Those minerals is what pulls the water into the cells and actually hydrates inside the cells, which is how we keep hydrated. And then because it's working off a copper peptide, it's really important that we have copper in the body. So most of us, unfortunately, are deficient in copper, or there's copper toxicity because the copper is stuck in our organs, in our tissues. So we want to make sure that we have enough copper in our body. So great sources of copper include organ meats, right? Everybody's favorite, the beef liver, which really is a superfood in general. But oysters, other shellfish are excellent. Avocados, nuts and nuts such as cashews, sunflower seeds are great. You can even indulge in a little bit of dark chocolate, but it has to be the 90% because that's what's effective in terms of giving you the copper that you need, and that actually gives you enough copper for the day. Just a little piece of dark chocolate. So what can you expect? Well, definitely we encourage you to take note of your current state. So prior to patching, you want to track your progress. So even taking pictures of your skin, your hair, your scars, your veins. Write out your wish list of things that you want to see improve. We provide a health tracker when you join to track your progress. It's really important to realize that everyone is different. Every body has a different makeup, a different health history, a different toxic load, depending on, what they've been exposed to. So what someone else experiences right off the bat, that may not be what you experience right away. So you want to give it time. David Schmidt, the inventor, recommends committing to it for a month for every decade you are old. But after 3 months, 97% of users experience a significant noticeable difference. So ensure that you are committed to consistent use and you will see results. And although we might want these patches to do something specific, the body is extremely intelligent. It's going to heal and repair and do what it needs to do in priority sequence, right? Because all we're doing with this patch is helping to support the body do what it does best. But sometimes your body will focus on areas you didn't expect. So you may have started patching because you had knee pain, but you actually might start feeling less anxious and your mental health improves. This is exactly what happened to a dear friend of mine, and then it was her knee pain that went away after that. So patience and consistency is definitely key. Also, healing takes energy. So if you are tired, listen to your body. Give yourself grace. It's important to get that extra sleep because that is when the repair and the healing takes place. Also important to practice deep breathing. Not only is it a valuable practice to calm the nervous system, but also allow that oxygen to get in, allow that circulation to happen. Okay, so I'm going to share a couple of before and after pictures with you. I know we've heard some powerful testimonials tonight, but I have a couple others to share with you. So on the left here with this women's hair growth, so you can see the progression of the hair growth from the left to the right. This is over a 6-month period with the hair really filling in that wider part. So many testimonials, right? About about hair growth, even natural hair color returning, especially with Adam. So Terry's son with his alopecia, right? That hair is starting to grow after 6 days. Okay, then on the right-hand side, the picture, the before and after picture there, this scoliosis, this woman who suffered from scoliosis. So that is a curvature of the spine. This woman using the X39 for a 4-week period and had these incredible results. She did also use the ice wave patches for pain, which is one of the ones that David had created before the X39. But Diane and I know of someone personally on our team that has an amazing story of healing with the curvature of his spine. So powerful testimonials there. All right, now here's another person besides Summer on the call tonight who had experienced vitiligo. And vitiligo, for those of you that don't know, it is a skin condition where the skin becomes depigmented, right, due to a lack of melanin. So often this is indicative of an autoimmune disease. This woman claims she tried everything. Nothing worked until she patched with X39. You can see the depigmented skin virtually disappears and it's more of a uniform color. Then on the right-hand side, this before and after picture of a knee replacement. So surgery, so amazing difference in the before and after picture of this surgical wound healing after only 2 days on the patch. And as I said, surgeons are using these patches on their patients pre and post-op for faster healing with the stem cell activation. So when we talk about brain health and coherence, here is an image of a functional EEG of a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. On the left-hand side, session 1, before the use of the X39, the red in the image shows this high inflammation of the brain, the lack of coherence. Then session 2, so this is the middle scan, no more red, no more inflammation. This is after 3 weeks of wearing the patch. The dark blue is showing low energy, but the green that's showing, that's where you start to see more brain coherence comes in, the left brain talking to the right brain. Then at 6 weeks, the third session, you can actually see there's still no inflammation there, more coherence showing with the green, indicating more brain coherence. This is only after 6 weeks of patching in this 77-year-old woman. All right, so now let's get into who is behind this revolutionary product. So meet David Schmidt. He is the genius, the scientist, inventor, founder, CEO of this 20-year-old company with over 200 patents to his name. He's just getting started. So more exciting innovations to come. He's planning 5, 10, 20 years out. But it all started when he worked for the US government. He was contracted to create something for the Navy SEALs during Hell Week, where they had to stay mentally alert and focused for 36-hour missions without stimulants, caffeine, medications. And that's where the first phototherapy patch was born. That was his first patent. Then through networking, David was invited by Stanford University swim coach to patch the US women's Olympic swim team. They all beat their personal records and had the anti-doping agency come in to test them due to the results because the patches work through light. It was all above board. This was all 20 years ago. Then in 2008, David recognized that the future of medicine was in stem cells. So after 10 years of research, $4.5 million by 2020, he had received a 20-year patent on this X39. And so the trajectory of this company has skyrocketed. While LifeWave has always been considered a direct sales company, the business was really predominantly generated by practitioners, doctors selling out of their clinics until X39 really blew the doors open with the phenomenal results and attracted some big time networkers. And so this company went from a steady state $20 million company to closing out 2024 over 600 million. So a 3,000% growth rate in 4 years. And so this tremendous growth has been recognized by Direct Selling News, DSN, with the Bravo Growth Award, which honors companies with the highest year-over-year revenue growth on the Global 100 list. Companies that are not only scaling their businesses, but setting new benchmarks for the entire industry. LifeWave has been awarded this honor for 2 years in a row now. And so what makes this product so unique is that there is nothing else like it on the market. There's no competition because X39 holds this 20-year patent. You can check out the 22-page patent, but this one paragraph says it all. Elevates copper peptide, GHKCU, activates stem cells, improvements in strength, stamina, pain relief. There are clinical studies that show significant increase in the production of copper peptide GHKCU measured by blood samples, urine analysis, other lab analysis. And in order to get a patent, you have to prove that it works. So there goes the placebo the placebo myth, right? And what you have to know is that this is a novel product. Nobody else has this. There is a great website out there that you can reference the patents, the studies, the interviews with David Schmidt, along with other doctors. Also, really, really powerful testimonials if you need to hear more. So you can go check out the website, thisisitinfo.com. It's in the bottom right there. And the testimonials on there. So everything from neuropathy to hearing and sleep improvement to neurological improvements. There's a whole section on children and the powerful benefits they've experienced as well. So what could this little patch mean for you, for a loved one? Maybe you have increased confidence because your body, your mind are feeling so good. You're finally getting to the root cause. You're healing your body at the cellular level. People are taking notice, asking what you're doing. Maybe you're waking up feeling fully rested after a solid night's sleep. You have more energy to enjoy life. Your physique is changing. You're building lean, strong muscles, quicker recovery after working out. Or maybe you're living a life with more ease, less financial stress as you share this out with others. Maybe you're able to offset the cost of your patches, cover a monthly expense, or have more financial abundance, as this company is the #1 momentum company in the industry of direct sales right now. This is all possible for you with the power of the patch. So let me share with you how you can get started. LifeWave offers 3 options to enroll. So these prices are all in US dollars and for a month's worth of patches. So 30 patches in a sleeve, what we call a sleeve, it's an envelope. The first option is enrolling as a retail customer, paying retail price with no commitment. We often see doctors and practitioners in the States setting themselves up like this, offering this to their patients. However, of course, who wouldn't want to benefit from the wholesale pricing of $99 US? You have 2 additional options. You can sign up as a preferred customer with a monthly subscription or as a brand partner. So we typically recommend the brand partner option because not only do you unlock the wholesale pricing, but you also can secure a spot on this team and can leverage the incredible momentum that this company is experiencing by building a business without additional cost. There's no overhead. It's just the cost of your personal patches. And so often people become walking billboards. They naturally share the patches with others and they earn a commission, build a side hustle, or a full-time business, like many of us on this powerhouse team. So signing up as a brand partner, there are 3 enrollment options to get you started. And as you can see, the more that you purchase, the better the value. Big reduction in the price with the premium package. That's the best value for your money with the sleeves reducing in price to $87.50 from $99. And then the advantages is having these extra sleeves on hand. So you can start sharing them with family and friends in your life, your aging parents. Loan them out to people as they wait for their order to come in. It's always a bonus to have extra sleeves on hand. And so with all 3 of these enrollment packs, you're only paying for your patches, right? That is your only investment in this business opportunity, the investment in your personal patches. So signing up as a brand partner, there's no pressure to share or build a business, but you are securing your spot on the team should you ever wish to start sharing. And this team that we are a part of is the #1 team in the whole company with its incredible leadership, the training, the systems in place to grow your business. No prior experience or training in sales or network marketing required, just a passion to help people with the freedom model. But it all starts with your health, right? Health is foundational to the freedom model. So I thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on the call tonight. I do encourage you to reach out to the person who invited you on this call. They can set you up with the best package and pricing available for you. I would love to open it up for questions for new or invited guests on the call tonight, but I'm going to kick off the Q&A with this last question for you. What if investing in your health gave you the greatest return of your life? All right, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to open up the chat because I just didn't know if there were any questions there. No questions in the chat, but please feel free to put your hand up and ask questions. We'd love to answer them and be supportive for you all. Thanks, Samsung. I don't know who that is. Any questions tonight? Everyone's just kind of blown away.
Hi there.
Hi, Light.
Yeah, I have a daughter-in-law who's wanting to get pregnant, and she's 40, and she's tried everything, including parasite cleanse. And I'm just wondering, is this safe for pregnant women, or if she's trying to get pregnant?
Yes, I mean, so I'm just going to be transparent that there were no studies done on pregnant nursing mothers, children. But I will say this is working. So it's a completely different modality. All it's doing is working off your body's own light. And again, it's not like anything is going into your body that's foreign. It's just
Mhm.
using your body's own light to create these biological changes that is helping to support the body to heal. So I know that there are, practitioners or people out there that definitely recommend, or, there's no issue in terms of people that are trying to get pregnant, people that are pregnant or nursing mothers, because it's really working off the power of your own light. So, I mean, I would say it's risk-free. I know that there were other testimonials of women that we've had on here in other calls where they were nursing or they were pregnant and they have used the patches and also experienced some amazing changes. So if I were her, I would definitely be patching.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Lovely.
you.
So tell me again, how does it use your light?
So, okay, so this patch, so what I guess the most important thing is that David Schmidt has been working with phototherapy for 20 years. And so he's got 10 other phototherapy patches that do different things. They might increase the body's different amino acids or different peptides in the body to do different things. What he has done with this one is he patented it. So think of it as a mirror. So all these phototherapy light patches are like a mirror. They're like a reflector. And so each one of them have created this different crystal lattice that reflects your own light back into your body at specific light frequencies that it's your own frequencies. But what he's done is they bounce off this reflector into your body, different specific frequencies into your body to create these biological changes, biochemical changes. And one of them is to increase the production of your own GHKCU. So that's what the X39 does. The X49, for instance, that one increases another copper peptide called AHKCU, which is not a systemic copper peptide. That is a copper peptide that's found in your brain, in your heart, in your muscles, and your bones. So it's more specific, whereas this one is systemic. The copper peptide exists all over your body, and that's the one that has so many beneficial effects for repair and healing your body.
So would you recommend that mostly out of all? Like, how do you
Yes,
decide
great
which one?
question. That is a great question. Yes, I would. Sorry to cut you off, but the X39 is really the one that does everything for everyone. It's like the jack of all trades phototherapy patch that David has invented. And so it took him 20 years to come out with it, right? And so still people, like you were saying, I don't know if you were on the call earlier, but people were saying in their testimonials that some people were using different patches to supplement. But we definitely encourage people to start with the X39. That's first and foremost because it is the only one that activates our dormant stem cells. And we know that the dormant stem cells, what goes to repair and heal the body all over the body. They're the baby cells, right? That do all the repair work. Wherever your body is needing that, your body knows best where it's needing that those stem cells.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions tonight? Belinda. Belinda, you're muted.
Okay. Will you kind of elaborate on if this helps dementia or Alzheimer's?
Yeah, I mean, even that, so I know that there are powerful testimonials and and those that are on this call, I would encourage you to reach out to your sponsor to find testimonials if you're looking for specific ones. But there are testimonials of people recovering, yes, and becoming more, I mean, even, we talked about children and children experiencing, having autism and whatnot, and they are also becoming more verbal, more expressive on these patches. There's powerful testimonials about that. Also with Alzheimer's and dementia, yes, people are, I can share some powerful testimonial videos, and there's lots of them around. And even people that, are putting them under people's pillows are experiencing these benefits, while they're sleeping or while they are unfortunately bedridden. And so, the placebo, that whole myth can go flying out the window, because these people don't even realize that they're being patched, and their family members are seeing such incredible benefits.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, I mean, that comes all back to the brain inflammation, right? The EEG that I shared in terms of that 77-year-old woman's brain. So, in terms of reducing that inflammation in the brain. Anyone else have any questions tonight? All right, well, I am going to close it out. This recording is going to will be on my YouTube channel within an hour or two. And you can reach out to your sponsor to get that recording, or you can go to Beth Blackmore. My YouTube channel is simply Beth Blackmore, and that will be out there. And feel free to share this out with people in your life that you think would benefit from it. But I encourage you to reach out to the sponsor that invited you on the call for any additional questions and to get you signed up. And we hopefully will see you on the team soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you for sharing this with the world.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth.
Take care.